Hello, everyone. This is Wicked Fox, and it's Deuce and Crucible. Some of the things I can kind of teach you is practice your shots before you go into a match. That'd be one of the things. Um, Watch your radar. One of the most important things to do in Crucible. Turn your volume all the way up. So this is what I do: is practice. What you do is, imagine this is a person in a game, and you put in your crosshairs where you think the person is, and it transitions into the game. You take a few moments, just play around and see if you can hit your shots. But turn your volume up. What I do is when I go into my settings, I turn all the cinematic volumes and all that very, very low. Where I can hear it, but it's just not where it's disturbing me. And then I'm using the volume in game so that I can hear more of the footsteps that are walking. I can hear the walking sounds, the jumping sounds, the super sounds, um, it gave me like a little trigger to go, oh, okay, this is what they're going to do. Um, when you're playing, you have to listen to those cues. You know where you hear bullets are coming from, where um, if they're dodging, if they're there's a cues just to help you throughout the game. So as you get better with your aim and your shots, those will be little things in there to enhance, just to make the game way more easier. It's like having like a second radar. One is for sound, one is for visual. Let's see, what else can I say? Don't stand in one place for too long. You want to keep moving. A lot of times I see the people just stand here like this and just chill, you know. But the thing is if somebody has seen you in that position, imagine if you were in a real gunfight and somebody had seen you in that position and you just stayed there, how much easier it is for them to just lock onto you when they come back with full health. You know, it's like the same thing in the game. You know, you you see somebody and it's kind of like, okay, you know where the target is, and now you're trying to come back to the target with full health. They don't know where you're at because you're the one being aggressive towards them, and you're coming out from an angle that you want to come out, and then you're surprising them, and they're in the same spot, and then they're like, well, how did he get the jump on me? It's because you didn't move. You got to keep moving. You look at your radar. That gives you the idea. Okay, should I push here? Can I move? Because if the red is nearby, as on the top, it means you can't go just rushing out there because you're going to die. Especially if there's two of them. There's going to be two guns shooting at you, and in this game, you know, it only takes like three bullets. If they're headshots to kill you, and imagine you got two guns doing double that damage. So you got to watch that radar, figure out when you can move and when you can't. And if you see it from an angle on the right, maybe you want to flank a little bit to the left. If you squat is another thing to help you because it takes you off the radar for a short time. Now, remember, it's a short time and you're going to ping. It's just going to be slow pings. Now, that headshot is like what I was showing you. You just went into, something to practice on, whether it was Vandos or a target. It just makes it that much easier so that it's fresh when you're trying to play the game. It just comes like secondhand. Now, don't be afraid to move with your teammates. If there's going to be different times in the game as depending on what kind of player you are. If you're an aggressive player, if you're a standoffish player because you're using a scout or a bow. You have to be at a certain distance because you can't be up in their face, because you'll get melted. But you got to be able to learn to be around somewhat of your teammates to where, you're not too close, yet you're not too far away to where you're not doing any help to your teammates. So, you have to find that line to where you're helping and not just being by yourself the whole time and then dying. So, if you see them pushing, push at your own distance. Push, maybe further away, but like try to back them up. That'd be another thing that I can help. That I can tell you that would help you if you would just push, but not overcrowd them. Because if you're like in their way and you're way up on their ass, I mean, how are they supposed to move? And you just prevented them to get that escape route. So don't be too close to them. Be close, but don't smother them. What else can I say that could help you out? Now, as you know, jumping is a very big thing. The higher you can jump, because of the way the people see their screens, a lot of times they can't see you above if you're high enough. So a lot of times you'll see people jumping around like crazy. Um, Sliding is very important. It allows you to kind of break the target. So like if somebody was shooting at you, instead of you just trying to walk away or run away, where they can keep that lock, you're kind of like ducking, sliding. So it breaks that contact. It's the same thing like when you're jumping. So if somebody was shooting at you and they're locked on you, like Destiny has that where it's like almost like it helps you lock onto a target. It kind of like locks you just a little bit to help give you that assist. But if you were to jump or slide, it breaks that away. That's squatting um, takes you off the radar, like I said, and don't be afraid to squat every once in a while. Well, you should squat a lot, if um, to keep them guessing. It's where they make mistakes, like this. Um, they might have thought there was only one up here, and there was two. That's where a ping, where it's slowly pinging, and they're looking at the radar. They didn't see the two up there. And they came in aggressively or they got frustrated, and that just helps your gameplay. Now, if you're going to use a bow, I'm not a big bow person. I do try to play with it to get a little bit better with it, but as far as what I can say is it's best to have something on your secondary that would help you for close range, um, because you can't shoot as fast with a bow. And if you can get that chip damage where the bow does a lot of high damage, but it's not finishing them off. So if you just had another weapon with you to switch to finish them off real quick, or if somebody came and attacked you, you'd have another weapon to protect yourself. So if you're going to use a bow, practice switching your weapons a lot, back and forth, and not just sticking to the bow. That would be my thing if you're going to use a bow. As you can see, I keep moving throughout the match. You're not wanting to be in one spot because you're trying to get to point A to point B, where you can see the radar, you can see where they're at, and then slowly just inch your way in there and be able to take them. Like for instance, especially if you have teammates that are pushing in there, you're taking them by surprise. So somebody can only shoot at one target, and by you also attacking as well, well, it's kind of like a free kill because he's trying to fight somebody else, and you're kind of like butting into the fight. So it's just only going to help you. That's why when you're pushing with them, it allows you to get free kills. Damn, that was good. Try to hit him with my shoulder charge. I didn't expect that. Um, and I lost my shoulder charge. So when you're in here, you're just trying to outsmart them. See, you see the radar. You know there's one person there, um, and you're trying to find the best route to be able to take out one of these guys. You know, as you know, you're trying to take the same shots on, with a teammate. So they're doing the same thing. They're just trying to corner you in where they can both get the same shots on one target to make the person die a lot faster. I mean, and it's the best one who can do that in the match is going to be more like victorious. Um, Now, as depending on your class, resilience and speed, all that kind of stuff depends on your character. You know, Titans need a lot of resilience, um, so that you can put up your barriers and stuff like that. And Hunter need that mobility because they want to do their dodge more often. So if you're new to the game, make sure that you're making your priorities to that. Yeah, I knew I was going to lose that fight, so it was an instinct. I knew that it's either I would die or just use my super there, and it could probably benefit the team as well. And it worked out. That's just experience. By playing the game, the more you play, you're going to get that too, because you're going to see patterns. You're going to see things that people do all the time, and you're going to go, oh, okay, well, this will work against that, or I know he's going to kill me because you know about how many shots it's going to take for you to die, and you know, you make those judgments, and the faster you can make those judgments in a game like this, the more time you're going to win. So that just comes from experience, um, but all these things lead up to being better and better. Now, a lot of times people get frustrated by playing against better players, but really, in fact, it's good for you because you can't get better by playing worse players. So, imagine when you play against those really good players and you're so used to it, you know what works and what doesn't work, and you know what weapons don't work because they're going to have the upper hand. So it's good to play against, even if you're losing a lot, even if you're getting your butt kicked. But you'll eventually figure out how to win those engagements as long as you're practicing things like practicing your shot, because one of the best things is nailing your headshots. So the more and more chance that you're able to hit your headshots and not be shooting all over the place, hitting the wall, the ceiling, the sky, you're going to start winning those engagements. And these other things will come in later. Now, the sensitivity, that you want to change, go into anywhere on the map and look at Vandals. And you know how they, especially the ones that sway back and forth, left to right, trying to dodge your shots. Try to stick with them. If you're overshotting that, then your sensitivity is too high. And imagine if you're in a map playing against real people and they're dodging left to right and you lose track of them, you've missed so many shots. So if you keep changing your sensitivity to keep up with that Vandal. So if that Vandal goes left or right and tries to juke you and you're able to stick with them, then that's a sensitivity where you want to be. If it's too slow and you're not able to keep up with them, got to go a little higher. If it's too fast and you're overshooting it and you're not able to hit your headshots, then lower it down. So that would be another thing that I can tell you that would help out. Knowing the map is probably a very big key. Now, if I were to go into a map and I didn't know where the fire, the lanes of where people are shooting at, I would more likely get shot more often because I wouldn't have been able to prevent myself from that lane. So knowing where to go and where not to go in a map is very important. This is all the times when you're playing Crucible and you realize, okay, this is a shooting lane. So, you got to be more careful on this lane. So if you're trying to get past this lane, figure out how I can get over there, without just being out in the open like this guy. He has nowhere to go. If I leave, he's dead. So he had no exit route. You know, um, I have Strand. Strand was another thing. Making a class that you can get to point A to point B faster is very important. Now, Strand allows me to get there faster than I normally can, so I like to use that. Now, you know, one of the things I could say is go on one of those maps where you're playing in Crucible, but you're playing by yourself, and look around the map and find a place that maybe you can hit and they can't. Find a place that you see lanes where you could, attack them from, because that's a running lane. Um, throw throw an ice block up at the wall and jump up on it. Be creative and jump on that so that you can snipe from a higher area. That's being creative using your map awareness. And see, this is what I'm doing when I'm just playing regular PvE. I'm practicing my shots so that way I'm not getting rusty. And then that's all I have to say. Hopefully some of this stuff helps you out. So, this is Wicked Fox. You guys have a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.